Yeah, so good afternoon. Can you hear
Good
me? Yeah.
afternoon, ma'am.
So it's great to be on this call with you, Dr. Vinita Jariwala. And I'm just wanting to just begin with an introduction. For those who are going to be joining also, and those who will be watching this recording online, Dr. Vinita Jariwala is a pediatrician, and she's been practicing since last 17 years. So today we are going to speak about the aspect of parenthood and how prepared you can be for your parenting journey. Basically, navigating risks and embracing the special needs. So, all of us know that there is a lot of support that we need to do is once a child is born, especially when the child has special needs. So, children with ADHD, autism, Down syndrome, intellectual disabilities, all these kind of parents need a lot of support. So today we are going to be speaking to regarding this. This is going to be the topic for today, and we are going to empower parents to be with how it's important it is to have something known as genetic counseling and some insights. So Dr. Vinita is going to share with us. She's based in Borivali here in, and also she also practices at Ashok and Ashok One Hospital in Borivali, Daisar. And as part of Rahat, so I want to just speak a bit about Rahat before I hand it over to Vinita. So what we do at Rahat is holistic health. We are looking at whole person care. We just don't want to look at a person's body or just look at the person's mind, but we look at the person in a holistic manner, that is mind, body, soul, and spirit. So today's topic also we are going to give like an holistic manner in which we are going to address it, and that's what Dr. Vinita is going to help us. Both of us are Vinitas, so there could be some confusion. But when I say Dr. Vinita, it's Vinita Jeriwala. So Dr. Vinita, I want you to like just give us a brief introduction about yourself, and then we'll go into asking you questions. Is that okay?
Thank you, ma'am. Yes, absolutely. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Dr. Vinita Jariwala. I've been practicing in Borivali since the last 17 years. My area of expertise are general pediatrics, vaccines and immunization, infectious disease in pediatrics, development pediatrics, and pediatric nutrition. I am associated with a lot of hospitals in Borivali and Daisar, and that includes Ashok One Hospital. We have a very good topic today. So let's dive in and make the families and the community more prepared and inclusive.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, thank you. So my first question to you is, like both basically this is this topic or this webinar is meant for a general audience. So we're looking at the term genetic counseling. So when we look at the term genetic counseling, can you just give us a little bit of a brief about what is the meaning, what is the purpose of genetic counseling? Because people may know of different forms of counseling. But when it comes specifically to genetic counseling, what does it entitle and what do you do in genetic counseling?
So, genetic counseling is a service that is provided by a specialized professional for individuals and families who have neurodiverse conditions. So, genetic counseling helps them to understand the medical, psychological, and the familial implications of genetic disorders, what it brings us, to
Okay,
the table. So, it makes us easier as a family to take an informed decision.
right. Okay. So we know that when you talk of genetic counseling, we see that in India, we have different people from different genetic backgrounds. Like, they have different dispositions, sometimes even marriage within the families. So I just want to know how does this genetic counseling help in such kind of cases? Like because so when you're saying genetic counseling, is it only related to after the child is born, or does it there is some implication even before the child is born, or like when the couple is getting married? So if you can just give us something about that.
So, see, in India, we are 1.4 billion population and increasing, and consanguinity, sadly, is still practiced in certain communities and the rural villages. So, what
Right,
is consanguineous marriage is marrying in your own blood relation. So,
right.
what happens is when uh, a person in the same family marries a cousin, they
Hmm.
have fourfold increase of those genetic disorders that they have inherited. Those are
Okay,
those that are hereditary. So it
right.
becomes very difficult, and to treat even to bring them down or to find the person, because in rural India, the awareness is pretty low. And
Right.
there is a stigma associated with all these special needs and neurodiverse conditions. So they do not come forward and tell that that their child is suffering from, a certain disability or a disorder.
Mm-hmm.
So
Correct.
genetic counseling can help pre-marriage, preconception, and it will be a very good mode to help our community grow and
Okay.
have lesser neurodiverse conditions in children.
Okay. Okay. So it's more like it'll help a lot in preventing
Preventing,
disease,
absolutely.
preventing
Counseling,
genetic.
having healthcare workers going to villages and explaining them, the risk of consanguineous marriages and what they can face. So, they can avoid such marriages.
Yeah, sure. Thank you. So, like when couples, like now, suppose a couple is already kind of in a consanguineous marriage, they are already like close family or maybe even distant relations. What are some practical steps or preparedness? Like, are there some risk assessments? Like you said, the healthcare worker can go into the villages and counsel them. So, what are there some particular assessments which, like, just give it to us in a very simple language so that people
Yeah,
can understand
so
that?
yes, absolutely. So what counselors do is they assess the risk factors. Say
Hmm.
if they have a family history of a dadaji or a nanaji or mama kaka having any developmental disorder.
Okay.
Okay, so they write it down, they note it, and they forward it to their seniors.
Hmm.
So there is a person having one-on-one contact with the patient and their family. So
Hmm.
when that patient conceives, the risk of having a developmental delay or a child with neurodiverse condition is higher. This is
Correct.
explained to them, so they are more prepared.
Mm-hmm.
Also, they are even given choices for testing, so
Right.
they know what they can expect out of the test.
Correct.
Also, the interpretation of these results are also given by counselors in these villages,
Right.
and they are at a better space to take decisions, informed decision, because this is what will happen after 9 months, and these
Hmm.
are the test results. So
Right.
they are more prepared to
Hmm.
welcome a child with special needs.
Correct. Okay. So, what are some of the tests that are available now in a city like Mumbai? It is we are it's accessible. What about in other metros or in rural areas? What are some of the tests? Can you just
So
give us some
yeah,
brief?
there are a lot of preconceptual tests that the parents can do
Hmm.
before, having a baby. For
Correct.
example, thalassaemic couples, they can always test their thalassemia during marriage. So they do not give birth to a thalassemia major child.
Right.
And thus,
Okay.
the burden on the family and on the child decreases.
Okay.
In Down syndrome, we see 1 in 100 deliveries, one child is born with Down syndrome. So there are tests like nuchal translucency, there's a quadruple test, there are amniocentesis. There are a lot of tests that we can do during the first and the second trimester. Also,
Okay.
there are carrier tests for autism and autistic spectrum of diseases. So this
Okay.
way, we can either avoid or be more prepared to welcome a child with special
Right.
needs.
Right. Very true. Very true. So, and this is available even in the rural settings. These are
So, in the rural settings, the counselors or the Anganwadi workers, Government of India has come up with Bal Sishu Rakshak program, and
okay.
that is for newborns, that is Shishu and Bal, even the children. So,
Okay.
what they do is they go around families who are pregnant or have conceived, they talk to the parents, take a family history from them so they can
Mm-hmm.
assess, and then they ask them to follow up in an urban city, with
Okay.
all the test availability. Because in
Right.
rural areas, the max we can do is a telecommunication over a video call, because
Right.
electricity is a problem, basic hygiene is a problem. So
Hmm.
one to one, the counselors and the basic workers, the
Mm-hmm.
healthcare workers, the primary healthcare center workers can go and help the family.
Right. 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 So, how does now this counseling help a family? Um, like, okay, once they know this is what it is, in what way does counseling help the families?
So, counseling plays a major role in children with neurodiverse conditions because, firstly, they are in shock.
Hmm.
They they are stigmatized by the entire community. And
Correct.
their family themselves, within the family also, they are not accepted. The child is not
Correct.
accepted, the mother is not accepted.
Hmm.
She's looked upon, in a very wrong and a bad way, like it
Hmm.
is her mistake alone.
Right.
So when we give emotional support during
Hmm.
counseling, I
Hmm.
always tell my team to keep three things in mind. One is being empathetic towards them. See,
Correct.
they've gone through a lot. So
Hmm.
a little bit of empathy plays a long, long way, a role, that helps them to go on in this struggle.
Correct. Correct.
Second thing is
Correct.
listening. They don't have anybody to listen to them.
Right.
So, the mother has n number of questions because for her, she's a new mother.
Hmm.
Everything is new to her. Plus,
Correct.
having a child with special need is into four. As in, a
Hmm.
normal child would give, say, 10 problems. A child with special need would give, say, 14 or 20 problems. She's more
Right.
prepared and she has nobody to listen to her. So, when
Hmm.
a counselor listens to their agony, they are at a better place to handle the child. Even
Hmm.
the child, after a while, say 3 years, 4 years, they understand what they're supposed to face if they are getting bullied in school, if they are
Correct.
targeted in some special way,
Hmm. Hmm.
anything. Because our
Hmm. Hmm.
community can be pretty rude when it comes to
Yes.
a child with special needs. So
Right.
when we speak to the child, to the patient, to the individual and their family and
Hmm. Hmm.
counsel them, they are more prepared.
Correct.
Also motivating them,
Hmm.
even the smaller steps that they take. Say, they've taken the child to a specially abled school,
Hmm.
they've
Hmm.
taught the child drawing and craft. So
Correct.
motivating them, they feel ki, okay, something is getting appreciated, and thereby they continue this process, they do not stop.
Right.
And in the long way, it gives an amazing result. So
Wow. Great.
empathy, listening, motivation, and validation, doing small things and appreciating them for all the work, the individual and the family.
Right, right, right. Thank you. So, there are some myths around, neurodiversity, like even autism and ADHD. People talk about, vaccines being the cause. So, can you just give us some like details on the causes and whether vaccines are related to, these kind of neurodiverse problems in children? If you can just give us some.
So there are no documented proof that
Hmm.
vaccines cause genetic disorders.
Okay.
Said that, some people are more inclined to respond in a different way after vaccines.
Hmm.
So there are no written proof and no vaccine till date has caused any neurodiverse condition like autism, autistic spectrum disease, or Down syndrome. They're usually developmental delay, and that also early developmental delay during, when the child is in the womb, not
Right.
when the
Okay.
baby is out. So the
Okay.
environmental condition, the
Hmm.
hereditary that
Hmm.
the mother and the father carry and give it to the baby. So those are
Right.
the reason,
Okay.
that gives birth or result in a neurodiverse child.
Neurodiverse child.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, yes. So if you can just share something, some stories in your practice, something
Yeah.
that will encourage the audience to,
Sure, sure,
especially
ma'am.
in aspects of like when you said, no, you have a team and you encourage the team to do such and such. So we can just give us some stories.
Sure, sure, ma'am. So I take great pride in introducing my patients. I won't be naming them, but I
Yes, yes,
have
definitely.
beautiful neurodiverse children ranging from Down syndrome, from Angelman syndrome, with ADHD and other autistic spectrum of diseases. But I am proud to say that I was there at delivery. I start with my Down syndrome child. When the baby was born, it was a difficult delivery. When the baby came in my hand, I saw that the facial features were different from a normal child.
Correct.
So I looked further. The child had a depressed nasal bridge, a flat forehead. The child had a protruding mouth with tongue outside, which is not normally seen in deliveries,
Correct. Hmm.
with dry skin.
Hmm.
When I auscultated the heart with my stethoscope, I could hear murmur, which
Hmm.
made me think the child has some cardiac issues. The
Correct.
stomach was not proper after
Hmm.
checking. So this made me coordinate with the rest of the disciplinary team, and we did certain tests.
Hmm.
And the pediatric ophthalmologist told me that the child's vision was impaired, the
Okay.
hearing was impaired. The child did
Hmm.
have some atrial septal defect, which is very
Correct.
commonly seen in Down syndrome.
Hmm.
The parents were counseled,
Okay.
and they would come almost every third day to clinic because
Hmm.
they were depressed and they
Hmm.
needed encouragement. We would
True.
speak to her She was a young mother. Usually,
Hmm.
Down syndrome is, seen more in mothers conceiving above 35 years of age,
Hmm.
or
Hmm.
with a family history or other
Right.
environmental factors affecting. But this
Right.
mother was a young mother, first baby.
Hmm.
We
Hmm.
counseled her. We treated the baby for all the problems because the child would fall ill because of the heart problems. There was a upper respiratory tract infection almost every 2 weeks, which
Right.
panicked the parents. Today, the child is 13 years old, doing
Wow.
very well in school,
Wow.
does amazing drawing and painting,
Hmm.
speaks, and is self sufficient.
Wow.
By saying self sufficient, the child does not require somebody else's help to do the daily activities. And that is a great reward for us, for,
Wow.
for the entire team, and for me as a pediatrician.
Hmm.
Same with
Hmm.
my Angelman syndrome. The child couldn't walk, had
Okay.
delayed milestone,
Hmm.
beautiful baby with gray eyes.
Wow.
Angelman syndrome children have gray eyes.
Hmm.
Very
Hmm. Hmm.
handsome. He goes to school every day. He is
Wow.
extremely sharp. Now he's the class monitor. He comes
Wow.
walking to the clinic. He
Hmm.
smiles, doesn't speak much because they do have their problems, communication wise. But we
Right.
do include that, make him comfortable so that he can converse in his own non-verbal way.
Wow.
And
Wow.
other than
Great.
that, every day in my clinic, I get to see at least one or two ADHD patients.
Hmm.
And I am so happy that the child shows the symptoms of ADHD when they are 2, 3, 4 years. And when they are 10, when they are 12, because of our management treatment and the entire team effort, they grow into such beautiful babies. All are doing very, very well.
Wow. Wow. Great.
So counseling plays a very important role. Yeah,
Thank you.
said
Yeah.
that, a geneticist, an occupational therapist, a speech therapist, a
Hmm.
physiotherapist,
Yeah.
all play an important role. It's a team effort.
Very true, very true. Thank you so much. Yeah, this is very encouraging. I wanted to also ask you, like, we are seeing now a lot of like an increase in prevalence of these kind of conditions, ADHD, autism, and all the others that you mentioned. So can you tell us, like, what is it? What are the reasons, and what can we do better? I mean, is there something that we can prevent? I mean, some of course we can't prevent. It is genetic. It is like it's like kind of divine, whatever it is.
Correct,
But
correct.
is there something that we can definitely change in maybe preconception or something like that?
So, the reason for higher number of ADHD, autistic spectrum, and other developmental disorder is diagnostics, better diagnostic. Now, our India is so much Atmanirbhar, self-sufficient, that we have tests, we have amazing doctors, we have everybody in the loop and at the time of need.
Mm-hmm.
Abroad countries, you have to wait for 3 to 6 months for
Right.
even
True.
a diagnosis. But in India, we have everybody. We just need the parents to come to us.
Hmm.
So, like I said, the first pit stop for any family who has a baby is the pediatrician. But said that, a pediatrician diagnoses, manages, and treats,
Hmm.
coordinates with the entire team, and sends referral because we cannot be everywhere.
Correct.
So it is a team multidisciplinary, approach.
Hmm.
And these counselors can go to their house or do a telecommunication, a WhatsApp video call, a
Hmm.
Zoom meet, and talk to them. And
Right.
this really decreases and alleviates their pain and panic to
Correct.
such a great extent that
Hmm.
we take it, we feel counseling is nothing, but it really makes a big difference in their life.
Right.
Uh, Other than that, if our primary healthcare centers had more paramedic and other um, medical staff who are trained in these basic needs, how to pick up,
Hmm.
how to go to the families, what to ask, what to look out for, then we will have even more number of children with ADHD and other developmental disorders, and we can work to make them better, make their
Correct.
life better.
Better. Better.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
So,
So basically, it is early detection and then immediately starting the treatment.
early detection, as in, madam, it should be pre-marriage, first
Hmm.
consultation with your family physician, because nobody comes to a specialist till it is required. So
Correct.
always first go to is a doctor with family medicine, your GP, your general practitioner, your Ayurveda, your doctor, your family doctor. Talk
Hmm.
to them. कि
correct,
ऐसा ऐसा है फैमिली में, इनको ये तकलीफ है, इनके पापा को ये तकलीफ था, कितने चांसेस है अगर हम बच्चा पैदा करेंगे तो हाउ मच विल बी द इंसिडेंस फॉर द एंटायर developmental disorder to be transferred to a child. So a doctor is at a very good place to explain it before things happen.
right,
See, after something happens, we can only help them to make a, to have a better life. But we can't prevent what they're going to face. We can just help
correct,
them supportively.
right.
So your GP, your family medicine doctor, talk to them. After that, when you want to conceive, meet your gynecologist.
Hmm,
She will tell you the pros and cons of the pregnancy because it is not going to be an easy pregnancy. There's
hmm,
going to be a lot of tests, and these are painful tests.
hmm,
Amniocentesis, taking your amniotic fluid, from your uterus, very painful. Chances of miscarriages are high. So,
hmm,
talking to your gynecologist and
correct,
having a person by your side throughout so
right.
that somebody can guide you through the entire journey of pregnancy and delivery.
Very true, very true. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And so, like we would say like that there are a lot of gaps in the rural population getting access to these, healthcare solutions. So, can you just give us a little more about what the government is doing regarding
Yes,
this?
yes, absolutely. So, in Karuna Hospital, we have come up with a government initiative. It's called Shishu Rakshak Karya. If
Okay,
in that we educate all the paramedical staff,
okay.
and we have included even the ward boys and the maushis. They are not trained medically, but we do tell them what to do, what to look out for, the red flags and the danger signs, so that even if they cannot do anything further, they can update their seniors, and then they can come down to these rural villages and look into the family personally. So we do have camps which are organized by the government, and we go to Palghar and other rural areas, where there is healthcare is a huge issue, electricity is a problem. Telecommunication is tried once or twice a month with them to ask them their queries, their problems, and the medications and the diseases they are facing, so that when we go for the camp, we take the medicines and go and we address them in that particular way. Other
Okay.
than that, these maushis are then made into workers,
Mm-hmm.
primary health workers. And since
Okay.
they do come traveling from Safara, from Palghar, so it
Mm-hmm.
is their native, they take a group of women, they in turn teach them. So
Oh,
it
very
is, yeah,
nice.
it is like a community ring effect.
Very
We
nice.
teach
Right.
them here, and then it is, spread.
Wow.
So in a month, we do get almost 21 children.
Right.
We work on, we take a proper update for 5 to 6 years till the child is self-sufficient.
Correct, correct. Wow, that's nice. Excellent. That's really good to hear and very encouraging that like it's like a ripple effect.
Yes,
What
it
you all
is.
are
It
doing
is.
something in a small way, but it is getting multiplied at the
Yes,
grassroots
yes,
level.
ma'am.
Yeah. And I think that's how we need to work. I think there's a जैसे बूंद बूंद से पानी भरने वाला
Ah,
है उसी
yes,
तरीके
yes,
से
yes,
yes yes.
absolutely, ma'am.
Yeah, yeah. So one last, I think that would be the final. Can you give us like some words of wisdom for, one for parents and another for anybody who is probably like who's a healthcare worker or who already knows a bit about these conditions. So can you give some words of wisdom for each category of people?
Yes, yes, ma'am. One thing common for parents and healthcare workers will be telling your child, telling your family, telling your patient to say, telling them, "मैं हूं ना," which
Mm-hmm.
means I am there for you. Whatever
Correct,
it is, ups or downs, I will be there.
correct,
So this really helps because they know that there is someone to back them up. Okay.
correct.
Parents, please discuss genetics pre-baby. Go
Mm,
consult your gynecologist, consult your physician. Do discuss your problems before conception because that is when we can help. There are a lot
correct.
of diseases that can be decreased with folic acid, with other treatments that
Mm,
we can help.
right,
Other
correct.
things that the doctor or a healthcare worker cannot help, that is up to God, and we can pray and prepare you for, the best or the worst. For the professional, the healthcare workers, normalize counseling. Do not
Right.
take counseling as it is nothing. It plays a very, very important role. It might not be a lot for you, but it
Mm,
matters for the patient and the people listening to you talk.
correct.
मैं हूं ना. This is the take
Yes.
back message for today's seminar. because
Wow.
it is very important for your patients, for your people around you who needs to know that you are always there for them.
Wow. Wow. Thank you. Thank you. That was really great.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah. So I'll just open it up. We have some participants joined us. So if anybody wants to ask any questions,
Sure, sure,
feel
ma'am.
free to unmute and just ask some questions if you all want to. Anything that comes to your mind regarding this topic. Basically, we looked at genetic counseling and how we can help a person before conception, especially with relation to neurodiverse children, and how the support to the parents plays a big role. That's what we discussed today. So if anybody has any questions, you all can unmute it or unmute yourself. We are a small group, so Alfie or Rekha, if any of you all want to.
Sometimes what happens, get give birth at a very later stage, like, so I conceived my youngest son at the age of 38. So and it was a placenta previa occulta, like, so it was a 7th month delivery. He had all his regular milestones and all, but then we realized that after he went to school, he had like no something fun. He had with his academics, like no, especially his like no memory and all that stuff, right? So so how do you like how will you know all this, like no, until unless a child goes to school only you will get to know, like, because for us it was like no key okay, his milestones are all okay, like no, he walked, he talked, all, all properly, like, but then when he went to school, then we realized that like no, he's got some even some attention problem, as well as like no sequential memory and all that, like no. So how do we I just want to know about that, like no.
Yes,
Anyway,
yes.
now just for information part, I just want to
How
know.
old is he today?
He is 8 years old now.
Okay.
So
So
yeah,
that's a
yeah.
brilliant, brilliant age, and you've done such a good job. You should really credit yourself, with all these problems you have come up, and you're doing so well. So when you conceive after the age of 35 years, there are a lot of tests that are available, and these are routine tests that are, prescribed by the gynecologist. So those tests show you a borderline high, which tells you that maybe the child might have a developmental delay. Maybe the brain wiring may be, different. So if all those tests are normal, in spite of all that, you've had a normal delivery, baby has achieved all the milestones regularly, there is something called as nuclear family syndrome. Olden times, there was a joint family where there were people around a child who was born who would talk continuously, speak, keep them socially, involved. Now, there are either one or two babies in the family, mummy and daddy are working, and they do not have time to come and sit with the baby. So, what happens is they always online, either a phone or a tablet or a TV screen. So, this particular interaction, isolation from the social community, makes them a bit quieter, bit withdrawn. So, if your child is having problem with memory, there are a lot of games that you can play with him to increase his memory.
No, I've started with his OT now, so
Yeah.
I
So
take him
in
like
in occupational therapy, they
yeah,
have group programs and they have one-to-one sessions. So what they
yeah.
do is they empower the child to remember things, but in a way that is playful. It's not like a punishment to the child. So that
Hmm.
way, their memory is, it sharpens with time. About attention deficit and hyperactivity, like I said, that is a very common thing that I've seen. You need to sit with your baby. When he is hyper, you need to talk one on one. You have to listen to his problems. Most children needs attention from their parents, from their caregivers. Sit with them every single day, 5 minutes. Say your prayers, say something good. He might not behave properly when he speaks to you. Don't get agitated. See the pattern. Sit with him 5 minutes, then 6 minutes, then 7 minutes. End of 1 month, you will see that your baby, that attention crave goes down. His hyperactivity comes in a normal line. I have a lot of children who come to my clinic and throw the toys all around. And the mother gets hassled, the father is embarrassed. I say, like, cool. After a while, when they come for the 10th visit, they're like, अरे ये आंटी को तो कुछ फर्क ही नहीं पड़ता. And I keep saying positive things. So that really gives them a validation, which is very important for children. Please try that with your baby. Do not go for medications at the early stages. OT is an excellent way. Even after his OT, parental touch, parental communication it plays a very important role.
Yeah, thank you. I've been doing that now. Just wanted to know your inputs, yeah, whether I'm on the right track,
Oh, you are.
Yeah, yeah,
A
yeah.
mother is always on the right track because she always tells her child कि I am there for you. मैं हूं ना. So a mother cannot be wrong ever.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Rekha, do you have any question to ask? Yeah.
No, right now, but very well explained,
Thank you.
Thank you.
sister. So we have one contact, like she's a special child, autism. So that's why I thought let's learn this whatever things to
Sure.
understand about the autism
Correct,
children.
correct.
So she is now 21 years old. So
Okay.
when she parents came to know, she was 3, 4 years old. So
Okay.
the parents started going for a training, training and everything she learned for counseling. So now that daughter, no, 21 years old, she's so active. She behaves like a normal child.
Wow.
She
Okay.
does
That
every
is such great
housework
news.
and yeah,
Very
housework
nice.
she does everything. And she's very sensitive also. So she's trained according and very positive atmosphere is given from her
Very
parents
nice.
also acceptance is given. So that girl is no, she's so means she's not like hyper and all that. She's so calm and she gets attached to everybody when we are meeting social gatherings like that. So very well. Sometimes she gets angry. That will be there. Like I feel we always tell her, normal people also get angry. So
Yes,
many times.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
So
when we see her as a normal child only.
Oh,
And more
that is amazing.
active.
very
Yeah.
nice. Very nice.
So thank
Thank
you.
you.
You said like before marriage only people should before taking a child you should go consult a doctor. This
Yeah.
I learned means I came to know from now only that then we can give awareness to others also
Very true.
Thank you.
about this.
Very
Thank you.
true. Thank you so
So
Yeah,
much.
glad
thank you
it
so
was
much.
helpful.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank you so much. Yeah. Yeah.
thank
So
you.
great to have you all both on the call.
Yes.
So I think if there are no other questions, do you have any other question, Alfie? No. Okay. So I want to just take this opportunity to thank Dr. Vinita Jariwala for this time and just for sharing what is really an important thing and truly what Rekha mentioned that we really need to, do it pre-conception. We need to see how we can help couples before they conceive so that they can be on the right track, especially because we're seeing so many more incidences of these kind of situations
Correct.
and these kind of disorders. So I want to thank you so much. I'll put up.
Thank you, ma'am, for having me.
Thank you. So
Thank you.
yeah, and yeah, I'll put up the